How much is in it? Run it up twice, girl. Do it like that. Action shots. Action shots. We'll get some footage of Maggie making the beer salty. Not really. Maggie Clark, Queen of Chloride. The Duchess of Disaster. I don't know, in a menacing way. Morning, ladies. Let's see if you can see her. I'm just blindly pointing the camera.
By the way, I found my safety glasses, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those on before I add anything else to the kettle.
That girl, she's so safety conscious.
All right.
You just dump it in with something bigger. There you go, girl. And then just another sixer. We like to add that salt when we do add it again for the boosted chloride. We like to add that as that kettle's rolling over. Again, that use of kosher salt, not table salt, not iodized table salt. You do not want to be adding iodine to that. I could be super wrong, but that's my hunch. That's what I feel. Anyways, just kosher salt. Because we already have as much calcium in this beer as we want. That's why we're not using more calcium chloride. And we are getting our extra chloride in there that we want with this salt addition. So, yeah. I got my Whirlflock. I'm gonna measure up a wee bit of zinc, and we're gonna get it done, all right? Oh, I forgot, you can see me make all these adjustments. Trying to give you some new angles here, homie. All right, hey. All right, so we've got 2 minutes left in the boil. I'm gonna go get some safety glasses on because safety first. But I've got a bunch of sugar up here that we're gonna be adding to the whirlpool. You'll be able to see that. We'll knock this thing out shortly. I'll be right back. Yeah, boy. All right, I'm gonna kill this thing. Actually, I'll show you. There's that timer there. All right, hey everybody. We are now running off Arrowhead, and we're getting low. We've only got about 2 barrels left in the kettle. Let's go take a look at this. We're running into the tank here. You're gonna see my bucket bubbling. Bucket bubbling. Sight glass with work heading into the fermenter. We already have the yeast in there. We are pitching or combining the 2 elements of yeast and wort. Right now at 66 degrees, I will set the temp controller to 67, keeping the ferment a little bit on the cooler side because I can see this ferment really popping off. But anyways, we will come back with probably some dry hopping and some fruiting of this beer. So on to the next step. Fast forward. What we've done with this little sweetie, the little 1-barrel fermenter, we have cleaned it, sanitized it, purged it, and we are going to start adding our pineapple to it. We're going to get the lid back on top of it. We're going to purge it again, purge that headspace again, and then with CO2 pressure that will attach up top, we will push that pineapple into this. We add this pineapple toward the end of fermentation. As fermentation is slowing down, hit it with the pineapple, it'll ferment it. I'm gonna grab new gloves. All right, I have now moved the CO2 up to this top portion of the lid. I'm gonna take the whole unit off, and then I'm gonna start adding pineapple to it. The aroma on this stuff is awesome. These bags can be a little bit awkward, but this technique, using a tank like this, whether you're using, I mean, we've used a brink, so really it's a half-barrel keg. I have poured fruit through the top port, a 4-inch port of a tank. If you are in that situation, I'm sorry, that stinks. That's no fun. But I think we've all been there. I don't think there's any super ideal way to be doing this, but I feel as good as I can about this process. I have been curious to get into some of the barrels that they sell of this and looking at like some sanitary pumps and whatnot that you can use. If you know anything about that, I would love to hear about it in the comments if you have any recommendations, because we handle a fair amount of fruit here at the old beloved Cartridge Brewing Company. Actually, it says Cartridge Brewing. Okay. Put this back on top. This gas is running, so that means that it's already purging that head space. If you've seen one of these clamps before, they can be interesting. But you just kind of make sure your lid is squared up. Fit this in there. Boom. And then this cool little tank from Spike can take head pressure. I believe it's rated for 15 PSI, but check your manufacturer's warnings. Anyways, I'm gonna let this purge happen. I can hear some people say right now, it's not fully purged because you're not purging from the lowest point, all that jazz. I also don't want to be spurting up the pineapple puree by bubbling through it. I mean, I'm gonna purge it. I'm gonna probably give it about 10 minutes before I push this, pressurize and push it. That's probably overkill, but that's something that I'm willing to do overkill with. Anyways, I'm gonna let this purge. I'm gonna run around and do some other stuff, and they'll come back and push it. It's been my more than 10 minutes, quite frankly. I'm gonna go ahead and close this valve, which means that this tank is going to start building pressure. I'm going to double check that my pressure is the appropriate amount. Hey, Margie, this gauge over here is on 10, correct?
Yes.
All right, sweet. Thank you very much. Close that up. I'm going to start building pressure. I'm going to give it a little bit, and then I am going to start pushing this through the sight glass. And then soon we're going to see some pineapple shooting through there. And yeah, so let's check it out. We've got our gas. Let me get ready to blow this through. Boom. That's happening. Pineapple puree being pushed in through the racking arm. I am displacing head space in the fermenter. So my handsome little blow-off bucket here is bubbling up again. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to sit right here by the sight glass and the valve to the tank and babysit it and wait for my CO2 bubble to pop through here, and then I'm going to close this so I don't send beer and puree up through the spray ball and down the CIP arm. Anyhow, that's really the deal for this. Still trying to figure out my compulsion to make faces when I'm done talking. Pineapple pushing through. Beautiful puree. So pure Okay. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.